Hi, guys. Good morning. It is Thursday morning, November 21st, 2024. And we are smack in the middle of the greatest story Hashem ever told. I'm just going to give it a minute for someone to join me. Hi, Ray. Hey, Ray. Good morning. Hi, Karina. How are you guys? Hi, Irma. Hi, Chase. Okay. Hi, Ruthie. Ruthie's in the car. She just started the car. Hi, Yuri. Shalom. Hi, Ruthie's husband, Dennis. Is it Dennis? Hi, Choice Times. Hi, Steve. We got such a nice crew. You guys ready to learn Torah? Smack in the middle. What is the chus to learn Torah together early on a Thursday morning? May the learning that we do together help hasten the Geula, sweeten the Geula, bring on the highest timeline for the glory of Hashem, the glory, the honor, the sake of Hashem. Hashem, we are in this game for you, and we're in it to win it. We're in it to reclaim all the Kedusha back to the side of holiness for your name and for your sake. Let's start out in our book. Hi, Sydney. The Zohar and Shir Hashirim by Rabbi Moshe Miller, Al Bashalom. We're starting on chapter 7 of Shir Hashirim. Chapters 7 and 8 are very, very beautiful, and there's a lot that I flagged. I flagged a lot in these two chapters, so I decided last night to divide 7 and probably 7 and 8 into two classes. I don't want to rush through these. I want to savor them. So we're going to read inside 4 places of the book at the beginning of chapter 7. And then I'm still formulating what we're going to do after we finish Shir Hashirim, but I'm thinking this past Shabbos, the book Apples from the Orchard, another 10-pounder, Apples from the Orchard, opened up to me. It is the gleanings from the mystical teachings of the Arizal on the weekly Torah portion on the Parsha. It's the Arizal on the Parsha in English and Hebrew. So it is. So the first few times I opened, it was the first book Rabbi YIRAH told me about. Before his own book, I think. He's like, get this book in one of our very first conversations. So I ordered it immediately. And the first few times I opened it, I was like, I don't know what this is. I cannot understand this. And then this past Shabbos, I was like, oh my gosh, I can understand this. It opened up to me. And so I think I want to learn that with you guys. We're going to still keep twice a week, Irma, okay? We're going to do Monday and Thursdays. And I'm going to read whatever lights up my heart from the Parsha in that book. And also we're going to learn Likutei YIRAH. We're going to embark on this adventure together. Big Mama. Likutei YIRAH, guys. So get your copy from bookbaby.com. Likutei YIRAH by YIRAH. And we'll dive in here together and we'll learn it together, just like we learned Zohar together. I'm going to teach it to you as I'm teaching it to myself, and we will figure it out together, okay? Yeah, Sharp Sukkim is hard to understand, but the Apples from the Orchard once you really dive in and just spend the time meditating on the words, it's like an amazing world, an expanse opens up. Okay, so let's begin on page 280. Yes, Chase. Thanks for announcing the page. Okay. Chapter 7, the 7th chapter of Shir Hashirim discusses what? Discusses numerous subjects. The rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash, celebrating Yom Tovim, the reunion of Zeir Anpin and Malchus, the 7 mystical chambers on high, the Sanhedrin who implemented Torah Shebechsav and Torah Sheba'al Peh, secrets of the Torah, the connections between the spiritual and material universes, mystical enlightenment, and our favorite, the final redemption. I just want to read to you the 7 chambers on high. I flagged them. Oh, shoot, where'd it go? Hold on. Okay. This is page 150. The 7 Hechalos. I just want to read them out loud. The Livnas Hasapir, number 1. Number 2, the Etzem Hashamayim. Number 3, the Noga. Number 4, Zechus. Number 5, Ahava. Number 6, Ratzon. And number 7, Kodesh HaKadoshim. Note that corresponding to and opposite these 7 Hechalot are 7 impure Hechalot from the Sitra Achra. Zeh L'umas Zeh. Okay, back to 280. That was page 150. Back to page 280. Shuvi Shuvi Hashulamis, Shuvi Shuvi V'necha Zeh Bach. Return, return, O perfect one. Return, return, and you we shall see. Ma techazu bashulamis. What will you see in the perfect one? Kemacholas hamachanayim. 2 camps dancing in harmony. For the winter is past. Shir Hashirim 2:11. Hasasav Avar means that the domination of the angelic guardians of the 70 other nations over the Jewish people has passed. Hasasav Avar. That's what that means. And the reign is over and gone. Gone. Refers to the end of the domination of the Erev Rav over the Jewish people. Hasasav Avar Hageshem Chalaf Halach Lo. I say that every day, you guys, till it happens. At that time, the Ruach HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say to the Shechina, Shuvi, Shuvi, Hashulamis, return, return, O perfect one. Return, return is mentioned twice in reference to the first and second Beis HaMikdash down below, since they are already built and waiting above, ready to descend together as the third Beis HaMikdash. As soon as the redemption takes place, as the Zohar states explicitly. However, there is also an alternative view that return, return, O perfect one refers to the first and second Beis HaMikdash up above that will descend into the third Beis HaMikdash down below, which will be built by Mashiach. And there we will gaze upon you, Hashem, upon the Shechina, which will be revealed in the third Beis HaMikdash. And I've heard this from Rabbi YIRAH Ha'ari, where he said that there has never been a Beis HaMikdash, a real Beis HaMikdash. The Beis HaMikdash, the real Beis HaMikdash is still waiting to descend. And it has an entirely different meaning than what we think. What will we see in the perfect one? 2 camps dancing in harmony. The Zohar does not comment here on this verse, but the Medrash interprets the word kemacholas as to dance, and machanayim as camps, referring to the camps of the Jewish people in the desert and the camp of the Shechina, where the Mishkan stood and where the Aron upon which the Shechina was revealed was kept, the Ark of the Covenant. Alternatively, it refers to the camps of Malachim. Irma, you're going to like this. It refers to the camps of Malachim above. As the Zohar explains on the pasuk, when he saw the Malachim, Yaakov said, "This is a godly camp." So he named that place Machanayim, Bereshit 32:3. Similarly, when the Torah was given to the Jewish people, the camp of ministering Malachim on high descended. They came down to check it out, descended to take part in the festivities. See Rabbi Shneir Zalman of Liadi, Likutei Torah. Thus, in the future, when the third Beis HaMikdash is in its place, the Jewish people will rejoice and dance, Irma. We're going to dance with who? Two camps, with the Shechina and with the Malachim. And this is why all eyes and all the galaxies are on us right now. Because when we bring Hashem down to this lowest realm, we bring him down for all of them. And they're waiting. And they're waiting to dance. Everybody's waiting to dance. Page 288, verse 3, chapter 7, verse 3. Shararich Agan Hasahar. Your core is cupped like a crescent moon. Al Yachsar HaMozeg. May she not lose her fullness. Bitnei Charemos Chitim, your belly is like wheat in a mound. Suga Bashoshanim, with roses all around. Your core, literally your navel, refers to Tzion, the Beis HaMikdash, which is the navel of creation, the point from which the entire world spread forth in all four directions, east, west, north, and south. The central point of the Beis HaMikdash itself was the Eben HaShasiyah, the foundation stone, that Yaakov Avinu set up as a marker for the place where God told him. According to the sages, this Eben HaShasiyah existed prior to creation. I remember reading in Zohar that Hashem cracked it off his throne and put it down here. That's the Eben HaShasiyah. And from this Eben HaShasiyah, all of creation emerged. And it was around this stone that the Beis HaMikdash was built. It is therefore compared to a navel, a cup-like remainder of the umbilical cord, like your belly button, a cup-like remainder of the umbilical cord from which the entire fetus grew in the womb. I also remember reading that when Hashem brought the flood in the days of Noah, he lifted it like a plug in a bathtub, the Eben HaShasiyah, which is interesting also. Furthermore, it is regarded as the very core of creation, not only in a physical sense, but also in terms of purpose. What is the purpose of creation? The purpose of creation is to establish this world as a place for the revelation of godliness. Correspondingly, when Adam was created, his head was to the east, body to the west, arms to the south, legs to the north, and the sign of the covenant at the center, similar to the navel. Since the creation of Adam, the human prototype, is compared to the foundation of creation and the purpose for which it was created, we can transpose that idea to man too. That we were created in order to ensure that the entire world would recognize Hashem, behave appropriately, and worship Creator. The sign of the bris, where a male is circumcised, therefore corresponds to the Ark of the Covenant, the Aron HaBris, which was placed on top of this Eben HaShasiyah. See how it all correlates? The foundation stone, the yesod of the body, it's all foundational. The sign of the bris is similar to the navel in the sense that it is central. However, the navel, like the Eben HaShasiyah, is the place where things merely began, whereas the sign of the bris and later the Aron HaBris represent much higher levels. Accordingly, the sign of the bris and the Aron are the higher parallels. So we say the Eben HaShasiyah is parallel to the navel, and the Aron HaBris is parallel to the Yesod, to the bris milah on a human being's body. Furthermore, we say that cupped like a crescent moon is indicative of the birth of the sliver of the new moon that looks like the Hebrew letter chaf. Chaf looks like this, and is also the dagesh, the dot, in the first letter of the Torah. The letter Beis of Bereshis in the beginning. Perhaps the intention here is to illustrate that these two stages mentioned above regarding Yesod and the sign of the bris with regard to Malchus as well. Creation begins as a mere point in the letter Beis of the word Bereshis, and then becomes a bias. The letter Beis looks like a house. It's housed in there. The world becomes a house of God. This is also illustrated by the letter Chaf, where the point of light becomes the crescent of the new moon and eventually the full moon, the full Malchus. When Shlomo HaMelech built the Beis HaMikdash, in that place, Yaakov had dedicated the letter Chaf. The letter Chaf may allude to Keser, which expresses the ultimate elevation of Malchus, from Malchus all the way up to the tree of life, all the way up to the top of the tree of life to Keser. Indeed, the crown of Keser always represents Malchus. Page 299. What's amazing to me, I was listening to somebody on YouTube, I forget his name. He was saying that in the place where God is most concealed, in the physical, is going to be the exact degree to which God will be revealed inside the physical. It's just amazing. I'm so impatient for that. I want it yesterday. Hi, Betty June. Yeah, it rained here also, Chase. It's still raining. Okay, page 299. Roshech alayach kakarmel, v'dalas roshech kargaman. Your beginning is like fresh kernels in their husks. V'dalas roshech kargaman, they are drawn from there like royal purple. Melech asur barahatim, like a king bound with ropes is the soul. Rabbi Yehuda asked, what is the meaning of this pasuk in Shir Hashirim? Then he explained that this pasuk alludes to the soul. For 7 things, you guys, 7 things were created before the world was created. That's from Psachim 54a. What are these 7 things? Not to be confused, you guys, with the 10 things that were created on Erev Shabbos. There were 10 things created Erev Shabbos and 7 things created before the world. Those are 2 different lists. The 7 things are the Torah, Teshuvah, Gan Eden, Gehenna, the Kisei HaKavod, the God's throne of glory, the Beis HaMikdash, and what's the last one? What's the last one? You guys, what's the last one? The name of the Mashiach. The Kisei HaKavod refers to the sovereignty of the Almighty, as the pasuk states. Your Kisei HaKavod is established from before the world was created. You are eternal. Tehillim 90-2. It is also written, like the Kisei HaKavod, exalted from the outset, Yirmiyahu 17:12, implying that this was the first of all of them. Of all those 7 elements created prior to the world's creation, first came the Kisei HaKavod, God's throne. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu took the pure soul from the Kisei HaKavod to illuminate the body. As our pasuk states, your beginning is like fresh kernel in their husks. For it, The Kisei HaKavod was the first thing of all. How crazy is it that we know the name of the Mashiach? Oh, if that's not Geula, I do not know what is. Page 303. Maya fesumana amt ahava bata'anugim. How lovely and how pleasant is love with soul's delight. Ahava bata'anugim. Reb Levi said, when the soul is in its pristine state in Gan Eden, the soul is nourished by the light from above, from the radiance of the Shekhinah, in which the soul is clothed. And when it returns to the body in the future at the time of the resurrection, it will enter that very same garment of light. Then the body will shine like the radiance of the heavens, as the pasuk states. The wise will shine like the radiance of the firmament. Hamaskilim Yizhar Zohar Harakia, Daniel 12:3. And man will attain complete knowledge, as the pasuk states, the earth will be filled with the knowledge of God like water covers the seabed, Isaiah 11:9. Now, how do we know this? From the pasuk. Then God will guide you always, and he will satiate your soul in times of drought, Isaiah 58:11. This is by way of the light from above. This is how God will satiate us, with a special light from above. And he will strengthen your bones. This is the special providence he will grant to the body at the time of resurrection of the dead. In other words, the soul, with its great radiance, will enter the body. And you will be like a well-watered garden and like a spring whose waters never fail. This is knowledge of the blessed Creator that will satiate the soul. The da'as of Hashem is what's going to quench your soul. Then people, creatures, as it is written in the original, will know that the soul that has entered them is the living soul, the supernal delight that received its delight from above, and this will constantly invigorate your body, such that everyone will be amazed, and they will declare how lovely and how pleasant is love with soul delight. Maya fisu mana amt ahava bata'anugim. That's what we will say to each other. This will be the soul's activity in the future. Rabbi Yehuda said, come and see, techazeh, that this is what the soul will do in the future. The soul will constantly be invigorating the body. As the previous pasuk states, like a king bound with ropes is the soul, alluding to the body in the grave. This is then followed by our pasuk, explaining how lovely and pleasant is love with soul delight, when the body will become lovely and pleasant instead of in the former state as a putrid heap in the grave. Rabbi Yehuda said further, at that time, in the future, in the very near future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I think Rabbi Kessin set Tchias HaMesim for 2030. He did a calculation. Rabbi Yehuda said, at that time in the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will rejoice in his world and with his creatures, as the pasuk states, God will rejoice in his works, Tehillim 104:31. And then there will be joy throughout the world, which is now not the case, as the pasuk states. Then in the future tense, then our mouth will be filled with laughter. Yehi tzachok, there will be laughter. Then in the future, but not right now. I'm going to finish out this last page, and then we're going to go to the notes of Rabbi Gozlan. This is a beautiful concept. You guys, listen up. There are 3 types of love mentioned in the Torah. all mentioned in the pasuk, you shall love Hashem your God with all of your heart, all of your soul, and all of your might. Devarim 6:5, Deuteronomy. The Zohar notes that these are three very distinct types of love. One is ahavas olam, worldly love. One is ahava rabba, great love. And one is ahava b'ta'anugim. This is the love we're going for. That's alluded to in this pasuk, Maya fistu mana amt ahava b'ta'anugim. What is ahava b'ta'anugim? A love and devotion that transcends your entire being. It doesn't come from the emotions. It doesn't come from the intellect that the other two, ahava rabba, come from. Kabbalistic works explain these as functions of malchus, which is ahavas olam, zeir anpin, which is ahava rabba, and bina, which is ahava b'ta'anugim, pleasure, love in delights, in delighting in Hashem. Delight. Have you ever been delighted by Hashem? Oh, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. Hasidic works define ahavas olam as a love from the intellect. Ahava rabba is a love that transcends intellect. It's sourced in ratzon. Ahava b'ta'anugim, love with soul delight, is the delight when a person experiences closeness to Hashem in the inner recesses of his soul. Inner recesses of your soul is the delight of Hashem. And that delight manifests itself throughout every cell of his being. And I remember I recently experienced this kind of delight. It was the summertime, and I was on the phone with Ani. And as I was talking to her, I had actually a pasuk from Shir just drop into my head. And the pasuk was, Achos lanu katana. Achos lanu katana. I was like, Ani, I don't know why I'm supposed to be telling you this, but this is like, it's just in my head right now from out of nowhere. The next day, I went shoe shopping to DSW. DSW shoes. And the woman checking me out, not Jewish, I see on her arm a tattoo right here. I took a picture of it. She let me take a picture of it. It said, Achos lanu katana. I was like, is this real? Is this happening right now? I said to her, why do you have that tattoo? I said, do you even know what it means? I'm like, that's Hebrew. She's like, yeah, I know. And she told me very briefly that her mother, I don't even remember exactly, but her mother, when her and her sister were born, liked this verse and gave it over to them. I don't know, but it was such a delight from Hashem that filled every cell of my body. That was ahava b'ta'anugim. When I received that wink and flirtation and nod from Hashem, it's wild. It's just wild. And I'm sure you guys have had experiences like that also. All right. What time is it? Perfect. Okay, let's go to the notes of Rabbi Gozlan, because they are really good this week. Class number 7, Shir HaShirim. Shir HaShirim is Hashem showing his love for us, to teach us how to love. Sometimes the way Hashem loves creation does not seem to follow our human logic. Rabbi Gozlan teaches, we exalt celestial worlds depending on one thing: how we use our mouth, how we learn and teach the secrets of heaven pedagogically and with meditations to elevate the 4 cardinal points of the world. How do we utilize our words and speech? How deeply are we studying and searching for Creator? And then How do we go about spreading that teaching? We learn from Jacob, our forefather, who had two schools, one school for prayer and one school for deep Torah study. Two Sukkot. Yori, if you're still here, you're going to like this. Two Sukkot equals 182. 182 also equals Yaakov. The study of Kabbalah that we do after prayer rectifies any mistakes we may have made inside our prayer. He said, spirituality is life. The breath from our nose and mouth is a sign of life in humans and animals, but humans can articulate words. And words are an exclusive gift. That's how I titled this class, the exclusive gift from Hashem to the human being. This is where Hashem has love for us by giving us words. Our words are articulated and reflect our soul. Hashem gave us this ability and possibility of expressing ourselves with words. Words are articulated in 5 ways: guttural, lingual, palatal, dental, and labial. Each word we say rises until it meets, every word you say rises out of your mouth until it meets up and matches its celestial source. And therefore, it produces a theoretical effect. Unique is a word in that it generates an effect in the divine world, the world of causes. Your words create energies otherwise known as angels. Our words travel to the celestial fountain, and something makes something happen in the divine world that affects events on earth. Misuse words. Misused words of insult, slander, defamation create a rebound effect in a circumstance of pain. You will boomerang yourself a hit of pain for every word that you misuse. And that's a reason to really guard your tongue. This is why our sages say, Lashon Hara, evil speech is as serious as idolatry, sexual prohibition, and murder. Words allow us to move divine worlds of God or create chaos and destruction. Our words determine the degree of divine presence we achieve in our life. Our speech determines how close or how far you are from Hashem. Rabbi Gozlan said he once asked a makubal, how does a woman fall in love? The makubal laughed and said to him, falling in love with a woman is through speaking with her, talking with her. Meaning your entire world is modulated by speaking with the woman. The same thing with Hashem. When there is a fight, you can break up a marriage. Everything, said Rabbi Gozlan, comes from the word. So too is the relationship with Hashem. It is our words that bring us into relationship with Him, either into a world of miracles and delight, ahava b'ta'anugim, or into a world of karma and tikkun and hardship. Everything comes from the word. The divine word, Hashem's word, brings fruition to the world. Hashem spoke and the world was created. Hashem is also the Torah. The Torah is all made up of all words. So when we reflect on the words of Torah, we are actually speaking the words of Creator. We identify our word inside his word. When we teach deep secrets of Torah, it is Hashem speaking through our mouth. Rabbi Gozlan said, the sin of misuse of speech is called lashon levatala, wasted words. Be careful, he says, not to speak nonsense. Use your words to spread Torah, to create an affinity to Hashem through your speech, to draw down the compassion of Hashem because of proximity to him. This will be compassion that you receive in its purest form. Talking the secrets of Torah automatically generates a life of miracles and compassion for us, for our families, and the general well-being of the world. That's so big, you guys. You want to protect your family? Learn Zohar, speak Zohar, use your words. The Zohar is the ark. It's the teva. Our spreading words of the secrets of Torah is oh my gosh, I didn't sleep last night. Our spreading words of the secrets of Zohar, the Zohar HaKadosh, generates peace in spiritual worlds by reflection. And we lower down the peace from the spiritual world, the world of causes. And we lower the peace that we created down into this physical world. Lies, deception, and unfulfilled promises create fissures in heaven and chaos on earth. When God breathed his breath into the human being, a soul into man's nose, God created in that moment a medaber. He created a speaking being. Human beings create and heal fissures created in the spiritual world through our words, the words of the secrets of Torah, words of bracha, tefillah, kavana, chidushim. First, we must access higher worlds. The only way to access higher worlds is, do you guys know? Through studying Kabbalah with one singular intention. What is that one singular intention? To get closer to Hashem and to glorify him. The truest Torah, said Rabbi Gozlan, is her esoteric part. Learning the esoteric part of Torah draws a flood of light to the planet. The Torah is a marriage gift to the Jewish people, a ring on a bride. The Torah is what made us his. We decipher the Torah to obtain the key to flood light on the planet. This is the tool. The Torah is the tool. The secrets of the Torah are the tool to restore the planet back to Eden, back to a paradise planet. Learning secrets of Torah removes the klipot, the veil, from our eyes. And you start to develop a sweetness of expression on your face. Hashem gave 2 tools to get close to him. 2 tools, you guys. 2 tools of Devekus. Of coming close soul to soul with Hashem, soul to soul. How do you get close to Hashem soul to soul? your words, and the bris milah, the circumcision. These are the gifts of Hashem's love that place us, the human being, put us in dominion of our animal desires. We are in control of our animal desires through speech and through circumcision. Those who study Zohar open themselves up to direct communication with Hashem, to receive telepathic messages. It is very pleasurable. It's ahava b'ta'anugim, because it comes from the inside. Learning the secret codes of Torah open up the secret codes in your DNA. They correspond to each other. The DNA unlocks itself and informs the mind. This knowledge that comes from the inside out is never forgotten. The study of Zohar makes us a fountain of never-ending wisdom, an inexhaustible spring of answers. A true master of Kabbalah. Okay, this is a point I had never heard before. Never did I hear this. A true master of Kabbalah is one who studies it continuously day and night, as did Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the cave. What happens? This true master of Kabbalah becomes exempt from tefillah, from praying, exempt from mitzvot, says Rabbi Gozlan. Why? Because this master of Kabbalah has slipped from a physical world into a spiritual one, a world of souls, where there is a whole different set of precepts, of mitzvos. I actually told this thought, I gave it over to Rabbi YIRAH last night, and he said to me, learning about a mitzvah is tantamount to doing the mitzvah. And it's just a whole other way to start thinking about Torah. This is similar to the Kohen Gadol when he slipped behind the curtain. He entered that world, that spiritual world. Rabbi Gold, I only have one more page to read, you guys. How you doing? You hanging on? Oh, Hiroko said, Zohar study equals the ultimate DNA improvement technology. Agreed. And Rabbi YIRAH said to me last night, there's 22 strands of the DNA corresponding to the 22 letters of the Aleph Beis. And as you activate these letters inside your body from the Likutei YIRAH, we're going to do this together when we start learning Likutei YIRAH. The activation of the letters activates the DNA as well. And you said you can use them to travel up to the Yeshiva Shalmala, the yeshivas up there. Okay, let's finish out the notes. There are two main categories of fissures that human beings create in heaven. The categories are, number one, lashon levatala, speech, wasted speech. Number two, zera levatala, wasted seminal emission. With our mouth, in the opposite, with our mouth, we can create angels, and with our sexual organ, we can create people. So you can either create or destroy. These two ways. Because, this is amazing, because God has shared with us his creative gifts through these two avenues. Woe to one who misuses them. Then if somebody asked a question, is it okay to get personal pleasure from learning the Zohar? And then Rabbi Gozlan gave such a foundational answer. He's a fountain of answers. Talking about fountain of answers, Rabbi Gozlan is that. Every answer he gives is like mind-blowing. Rabbi Gozlan answered this question and said, every act of creation, think about it, anytime you create something, creates pleasure. The question is, was that a selfish pleasure? Or was it a selfless? Was it service to self or service to others or to God? Wasting seed creates a moment of pleasure. Slander and defaming people talking nonsense can also create a moment of pleasure through belittling other people. You are getting a hit of pleasure in exchange for zero creation. You only created a fissure. If you are doing a meditation or studying Torah, then yes, that also will give you a hit of pleasure as long as your kavanah is aligned with God. Then that creation, then it is okay to get a pleasure from that creation. He said many people steal pleasure without creation. So everything they create in this incarnation will bounce back, will boomerang back as something unpleasant right now or in a future incarnation as well, where they will create and they will have no pleasure in their creation because the pleasure was already stolen, was already grasped in a previous life. That is huge. Let's just finish out with a short chapter on Chanoch, you guys. Chapter 32. The execution of judgment on the wicked, Hashem's sword. Rabbi Yishmael said, Metatron, the angel, the prince of presence, said to me, when the Holy One, blessed be He, opens the book, half of which is fire and half flame, then they go out from before Him in every moment to execute the judgment on the wicked by Hashem's sword that is drawn forth out of its sheath, and the splendor of which shines like a lightning and pervades the world from one end to the other, as is written in Isaiah. For by fire will the Lord plead, and by his sword with all flesh. And all the inhabitants of the world, literally those who come into the world, fear and tremble before him, when they behold his sharpened sword, like unto a lightning, from one end of the world to the other, the sparks and flashes of the size of the stars of Rakia, going out from it, according as it is written in Deuteronomy, if I wet the lightning of my sword. Okay, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Go forth, teach Torah, learn Torah, speak Torah everywhere you go. Use your words to create peace, to close the fissures in heaven, to hasten the redemption. Activate your own DNA through speaking with Hashem. And you can merit the greatest delight, the ahava b'ta'anugim, this soul-to-soul communication with Hashem, where it is telepathic and only you and him are getting the jokes. I love you guys. Have a great day. Mwah. I will see you Monday.